Oh, hi. A few weeks ago, a guy came up to me at a gas station and he told me that he loved the way that I dressed and that I should probably work out so I'd look better. It was a 1-2 punch that I found more hilarious than hurtful. I couldn't wait to tell my colleagues when I got to the office. He was a professional trainer, and honestly, he wasn't wrong. But here's what's also true. Shame from strangers doesn't motivate me to change. Appreciation from my inner circle does. And I'm not alone. For the billions of people who punch a clock every day, frequent and meaningful recognition has a similar effect. When employees feel appreciated, they're more engaged, more productive, more likely to innovate, more likely to advocate, and more likely to feel that they belong. So 2 quick notes for Mr. Hot Body Gas Station Guy. First, when someone is appreciated for an action, they are more likely to repeat it. What gets recognized gets repeated. Second, don't come up to people in gas stations, pull your shirt up, and ask if they like what they see. It's creepy. Welcome to A-Listed. So welcome to A-Listed, and really the project of this show is to understand the science and the stories of appreciation at work. And for our first episode, I thought there's no better person to put on the hot seat to understand why appreciation works, how it makes people feel better and perform better than AWI's Global Head of Recognition and Reward Insights, Emma Harvie. Emma, welcome.
Thanks, David. Happy to be here.
So my first question to you, Emma, it's a tough one. It's where in the world are you right now?
It actually is a tough one because it's different every day at the moment. I'm in Melbourne, Australia today. Yesterday was Auckland, New Zealand, but today, Melbourne.
Lovely. Well, lovely to be with you. My first question is, can you tell us a little bit about what the science tells us about how appreciation makes people feel at work?
Feeling appreciated really rewires that connection that employees have both to their employer and to the people around them. We know that employees who feel appreciated are 2 times more likely to feel a sense of well-being, 3 times more likely to feel a sense of engagement, and 5 times more likely to feel a sense of belonging. So it really changes that emotional tone of work, even when the conditions outside of that are tough. We know that 3/4 of employees say that feeling recognised would make them more productive. 2/3 say it would reduce their desire to job hunt, and over half say it would soften the impact of having a salary below their expectations or a heavy workload. So there's a lot of feelings, but there's some impact there to the business as well.
Well, let's stick with impact though, because I think so much of what you just shared is very positive, but it's ultimately about how employees feel about the work that they do. Let's talk about the outcomes related to things like performance and productivity.
Yeah, monthly recognition doubles the odds that employees say that they're highly productive. And across roles, employees who are recognised monthly are 2 times more likely to say they're very productive at work compared to those who are recognised quarterly or less. And when you break that down into specific role types or specific behaviours you're looking to drive, for sales, as an example, salespeople recognised at least monthly are 3 times more likely to say that they're highly productive than those recognised less often. So that has a material impact on the productivity, and I almost challenge people to find a driver that is going to increase productivity as much as recognition does. But what's really interesting is when you can switch from monthly recognition to weekly recognition, that increases exponentially from there as well. So it is worth focusing on the frequency of recognition.
I love that. Now, one of the things that I've heard you say is that that monthly recognition actually motivates more than money, which seems an audacious claim. So I'm putting you on the spot to defend it.
Yeah, I think as humans, we're quite needy. And we need that dopamine hit to feel good about the work we're doing, to feel good about the impact that we're having, to know that we're on the right track. So I think that little dopamine hit that you get is short lived, which is why you need it frequently. So at least monthly in order to maintain your engagement, maintain your productivity levels, and so on at work. It's that dopamine hit that we all crave.
I love that. We actually have research that backs this up as well. In 2024, the Workforce Institute did a study in which asked a provocative question. Which job would you prefer? Would you prefer a job where every single day you felt seen, valued, and appreciated? Or would you prefer a job where you were paid 30% more, but those feelings were absent? And 75% of the respondents in that global study said that they would pick praise over the pay raise.
That's right. I think once you hit a base level of pay, obviously your needs need to be met. And if you look at whether you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs or whether you just take into account fair pay, once employees hit that rate of feeling like their compensation is fair, it's that sense of belonging, that sense of connection, of being known and being welcomed into an organisation that carries far more weight than, an extra little bit of cash.
Now, so appreciation, recognition, the frequency of it helps someone feel better at work, but it also helps people perform better. Can you talk a little bit about the impact that the frequency of appreciation someone receives, how it impacts the way they behave at work?
Yeah, so recognition tells people what good looks like. It tells people what is expected of them. And typically in the recognition programs that we run, they are aligned to values or behaviors. And so you're tying the behavior back to the values of the organization. So you're on the right track, and you get those little signals that if I'm being recognized for a behavior, it is valued in the organization. It also gives you a signal of what everyone else values and what good looks like. So you see a recognition, it pops up on the newsfeed, your manager is notified. And if I use a real life example, I'm located in Melbourne, you're in Toronto. You don't get to see the day-to-day work that I'm doing unless I'm recognized for it. And so those recognition moments are indicators that the behavior that I'm exhibiting all the way on the other side of the world is on the right track. If it's not, it's an opportunity for coaching. And so it's a great way of aligning all of your employees against the behaviors that matter to the organization for those real business outcomes that you're looking for.
I think we have a statistic as well that, we often say what gets recognized gets repeated, but the science from AWI shows this to be true as well. 85% of employees who are recognized for an action will repeat that action. And, so much of work is the over and over and over again of it all. And this is where I think positive reinforcement, helps that journey feel a little bit more comfortable for people.
It does. And I think especially at the moment, employees are uncertain. 92% of employees are unclear about what's expected of them at work. And that's quite shocking, really. Recognition is such a great connector to the values, the mission of the organisation, to what's expected of work. And when you look at the conditions that we're working in at the moment, there's so much change happening in organisations. I heard the other day that every enterprise organisation has 3 major business transformation projects going on at any one time. So there's a ton of uncertainty around that. A lot of it is driven by economic conditions, political conditions. AI transformation is a big thing. And that's making employees feel really uncertain. They don't know if their job is going to exist. They don't know if they have the skills that they need in order to keep their job or to do something different. So they're really unsure. Recognition is a really great connector to that, is to help people with, if I use AI as the example, help people know that it's okay to experiment, that it's great to share examples, great to share outcomes, using AI ethically, in line with the organizational values. If we can recognize employees for experimentation and for doing the right thing in those areas, it makes them feel a whole lot more comfortable about trying AI and using it in different ways, and then you're upskilling the whole organization by doing it that way.
Well, that's fantastic. Emma, I can't think of a better partner to ride alongside in the weeks and months and years ahead as we explore the science and the stories of appreciation at work. And I can't wait to partner with you to signal to the entire world that this approach really makes people feel better and perform better. So thank you so much for being my co-pilot here.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited for the guests that we've got coming up on the next few episodes of A-Listed.
Yeah, absolutely. On the next episode, we welcome Jose Halupa, who's the Executive Director of Operations for Cineplex. And if you like what Emma and I talked about, please follow us and share wherever you get your podcasts. And we look forward to seeing you next time on A-Listed.